Hello, sunflowers, and welcome to the first flip through in a long time of a deck. I have come back from Northwest Tarot Symposium with a ton of decks, so naturally, I immediately went out and bought a new one off of Amazon. This is a deck that I would in the past probably just have passed on because it is a holiday themed deck. However, I met the creator at Northwest Tarot Symposium and was very excited about what I heard them say about tarot and their work with creating their decks. And I also heard everybody raving about the deck, and I have been looking for one for a long time for this particular time of year. I do have some decks that are a little edgy and spooky, like the Lost Hollow Tarot or the Santa Morte. Even the Bunsen and Earth Flash is really great this time of year. But what I've really been looking for is a Halloween deck that is not too cutesy or too creepy. I am more of a spooky type of person, so like Hocus Pocus, Scooby Doo, Adam's Family, The Monsters, those kinds of things appeal to me, where there's a little bit of comedy. I like the whole dressing up, playing games, getting candy. I'm not the haunted house, blood and gore kind of person. And so when I saw this deck for the first time, I was like, okay, I have to give it a shot because it's not Halloween tarot, it's trick or treat tarot. And so here, every character is in costume, and they are just gorgeous. It's by Barbara Moore, of course, and illustrated by Jonathan Hunt, and they have just done a fabulous job. I had the privilege of sitting down with Barbara Moore for a few minutes at Northwest Tarot Symposium and talking to her about the process where she has illustrators create her decks, and the amount of detail she provides them is simply amazing. Sometimes she herself even forgets the things that she's told them she wants in them. Now, this is packaged by Llewellyn, and so obviously it is magnificent. It has the guidebook, full size with full color of each of the cards. Beautiful information from Barbara Moore about the card imagery itself, as well as some keywords. I mean, her guidebooks are really amazing. When I've read them in the past, like for the mystical manga or for the Mystic Fairy Tarot, I've loved it. She does have a little bit of intro information so that anybody could pick it up and read about it, as well as some spreads and, the things we've come to expect from Barbara Moore. Great content, always, right? And inside is our deck with the little ribbon. Now, this is a deck that my first thought was, oh, I've got to find a bag for because it's in this kind of box, right? But I'm probably only going to be working with it during October, so maybe not. One of the things I love about it is, first of all, the Fool card has the same character in it as the World card, which we'll see in a minute. It has these really great backs, which I think are pretty, and they're reversible. Has my favorite Halloween colors, purple, orange, and black. And I've already edged it because I decided that I couldn't deal with a stark white. And what I did was I just ran over it with some black. But instead of going over it until it was all black, I kind of left it because I kind of liked how it gives this kind of bony, spooky kind of feel to it. So I've been playing with it a little bit, though I haven't shuffled it and pulled yet. We'll do that together here in a minute. So I'm going to zoom in and we are going to walk through the deck a bit. All right. And I may make some comments along the way because you know how I am. I can't just do a flip through. I have to talk about the cards. Here we go. I love this guy dressed like Mr. Rogers reading to the kids as the Hierophant. Just cute. And you'll see some images from famous spooky shows and movies that we're familiar with, but they are not so specifically those images that it's like they're drawn from them, right? So, of course, Adam and Morticia, are characters we love. So it's basically people in the costumes of these. Here is our cat in the hat with Thing 1 and Thing 2. Yeah. Beauty and the Beast as Strength. The Hermit refusing to leave his house to give out candy, right? The Wheel of Fortune. This is the card that we just finished in our 78 cards in 78 weeks. And here we have the character from The Matrix. I can't remember his name, but candy being strewn. So how lucky will you be in getting your candy? Justice with our Monopoly Man. Interesting take on that card. The influence of money on justice. I do love this death card. It's here, death is in a costume. Instead of the little girl offering flowers to death, death is offering a flower to the little girl. They are really great. It's hard for me not to comment on each card. I love that the girl is the sunflower in this card. The sun card for me must have a sunflower or it is not the sun card. And here is the World. So as you remember, I mentioned earlier that the Fool is the same character. And I love this because here you see the child at the beginning of the night beginning their trick-or-treating. And at the end, you see their success, their completion of their effort. Happy smile, candy full in their pumpkin. This is what I love about Halloween. Okay, and the costumes and the play and the joy, and I feel like that comes across in this deck while still holding to some very traditional ideas about the tarot. I did have to read the guidebook about the 2 and the 3 of Wands because they were a little weird for me. Those are 2 cards I almost always have to read the guidebooks on because if they vary from the Smith-Waite image, then I kind of have to see where people are going with them. I love in the 5 of Wands that she chose to use people at play. My theme for my card was play to learn, learn to play for the 5 of Wands. And the great thing about Halloween is you see characters like you'll see Jedi dancing with your monsters or with Dracula. I do love this Page of Wands. It has this feeling of speaking out and announcing that I think is missing in the Smith-Waite to a degree. This is exactly what I wanted to see in a Halloween deck. Not just changing the suits to be Halloween symbols or making them creepy or bloody or gory or scary, but capturing that childlike wonder of that holiday, which is what I really love about it. This, I think, is probably the scariest card, but when you notice that they're both clowns, it's not quite as creepy. Wizard of Oz. I love the Ten of Swords with the poking of the doll. See, this is an interesting Knight of Swords. At first I thought Seven of Swords, but I like what they did here with the knight rushing in through the window. Beautiful Queen of Swords. And of course, our Ace of Pentacles is our pumpkin with the pentacle on it. Beautiful. I love that they're building a scarecrow. I always loved building scarecrows as a kid, and it's not something that you get to do much as an adult, particularly if you don't live in the country. Like I moved, from the country to a more suburban area, and just don't do that. Although there are scarecrow type things that are usually lining the streets of my town where kids did them in school. Elvis impersonator, obviously something you gotta have. There's our 101 Dalmatians. Our Elvira is our Nine of Pentacles. See, I have been playing with the deck. And there's our werewolf as the King of Pentacles. Isn't that lovely? It's just gorgeous. And I think it's because it's more about placing people in costumes and enjoying the season than it is about recreating the visuals to align with a specific Halloween theme. This is Halloween for me, trick or treating, and I think that's a great name for this because it's really what it focuses on, and that's the part that I really enjoy, even as an adult, seeing all of the kids in costumes coming to my door and giving them candy. So shuffled nicely. That's that Llewellyn cardstock. I'm going to zoom back out a bit. There we go. Ooh. All right. And I'm going to pull 3 cards and see what we get for ourselves today. Well, except for I keep missing, so... Oh, there we go. So you see all of these things on my table here. These were on my desk at work before the pandemic, so now I can use them to decorate here at home. All right, so our first card in our 3-card draw here today is going to be our Queen of Wands. This is so funny. The Queen of Wands has been a recurring theme for me in the last few weeks. And obviously, I tend to relate her a bit with the Magician, like with the manifestation thing. Like she is our woman who has come into her own power, and she is creative and passionate, and people look to her for leadership. And I kind of feel like I'm getting there. I'm starting to embrace her a bit. The second one is the High Priestess. That is too funny. Oftentimes people reflect upon tarot readers as being the High Priestess, and you can even see here she's holding her deck of cards. And I've never really seen myself that way until the last few weeks, as I've been working with the Queen of Wands as well. Very interesting that those 2 cards would come up. And then we have the King of Wands. And this is interesting. A very fiery energy surrounding our High Priestess. This may be the time to ascend and do your thing, whatever your thing is, intuitively. Feel that out and make it happen. You've got the energy behind you, right? I mean, not just 1, but 2 leaders in their own right, encouraging you forth with your creative endeavors, particularly those that relate to your intuition. I do love this deck, and this reading doesn't surprise me at all, given what's been going on with me lately. But I wonder if it resonates with you at all. And I wonder how you are spending Halloween. Will you be dressing in costume? Will you be handing out candy? Or will you be the trick or treator this year. Until next time, everyone, good journeys, and thank you for stopping by.